Jack. Jack. Jack!
He once made the whole world melt in Titanic, with the eyes of a young man willing to risk everything for love. But as he climbed to the very top of fame, Leonardo DiCaprio was no longer just the love-struck boy. We remembered he became a gentleman of Hollywood, living one of the most luxurious lifestyles in the industry. Behind the spotlight, though, came real challenges. The crushing weight of fame, a string of high-profile romances under constant scrutiny, and scandals that came close to overshadowing his entire career. He owns multi-million-dollar properties, commands a lasting empire in film, and has experienced everything Hollywood could possibly offer. From a boy growing up on the tough streets of Los Angeles to a global icon fighting for the planet, Leonardo's journey isn't just a tale of success, it's a tribute to resilience and a dream that never gave up. Join us as we explore the extraordinary life of Leonardo DiCaprio, one filled with breathtaking highs and rarely seen lows. If you enjoy stories like this, please hit the like button. It helps us tremendously, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. When your home is a place where the wind creeps through broken windows and hope flickers like the last light at the end of the street, how does a boy dare to dream of Hollywood? Leonardo DiCaprio was born on November 11, 1974, in Los Angeles. When he was just a year old, his parents divorced. Raised by his single mother, Irmeline, he grew up in some of the city's roughest neighborhoods where graffiti covered the walls, police sirens echoed through the night, and shadows moved quickly under dim streetlights. Irmeline worked as a legal secretary, doing everything she could to give Leonardo the bare essentials: a roof over their heads, simple meals, and the unwavering belief that the future could be different. Even as a child, Leonardo was unusually sensitive to the world around him. In the evenings, instead of playing outside, he'd sit on the floor, watching old movies on TV. He was mesmerized by the likes of Gary Cooper and Steve McQueen, men who carried themselves with calm resolve through a chaotic world. He studied their glances, their smiles, not just to imitate them, but to learn how to navigate life itself. Because in neighborhoods like his, silence and observation were sometimes more valuable than words. At age 5, Leo begged his mother to let him audition. Rejections came quickly and often. Casting directors overlooked the small, blonde boy who didn't quite fit the mold. But Leonardo didn't give up. There were afternoons he'd sit on a cracked doorstep, holding a movie flyer in his hands, quietly wondering, will I ever get to be a part of that world? Each rejection was a small wound, but also a reminder this path wasn't meant for the faint of heart. That fire burned brighter when Leonardo was 14. One day, he learned that his half-brother had just earned $50,000 from a TV commercial. Leonardo's eyes lit up. He turned to his mother and said, with absolute certainty, "I'm going to make it, no matter what." It wasn't a fleeting promise. It was a vow from a boy who had seen enough disappointment to understand pain and still believed something better was waiting for him. But dreams don't take shape easily. And when the doors kept closing, Leonardo answered the only way he knew how, by knocking harder. When hundreds of Hollywood doors slammed shut, how did Leonardo DiCaprio still manage to reach the stars? At just 16 years old, Leonardo made the first life-changing decision of his career. He dropped out of John Marshall High School to pursue acting full-time. He earned his GED and stepped onto a path that offered no guarantees, where every audition felt like gambling with hope itself. In the early 1990s, while Jurassic Park was captivating theaters across the country, Leonardo, with his tousled blonde hair, stood in line among hundreds of hopefuls, clutching his dream tightly. But Hollywood wasn't quick to open its arms. After more than 100 rejections, he kept going. From Matchbox toy commercials to small roles in Parenthood, each opportunity became a quiet lesson in patience and resolve. The rejections stung, but they didn't stop him. He learned to listen, to watch, to grow, one challenge at a time. Then in 1993, the first real light broke through. Leonardo beat out more than 400 young actors to star opposite Robert De Niro in This Boy's Life. For a legend like De Niro, known for his high standards to choose, Leonardo was an unspoken endorsement. This kid has something special. Shortly after, he took on the role of Arnie in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, a performance so powerful it earned him an Academy Award nomination at just 19 years old. A remarkable achievement. Yes, but for Leonardo, it was just the beginning. He understood that while Hollywood could embrace you today, it could just as easily forget you tomorrow. In the years that followed, he turned down easy roles, the safe prince, charming characters so many young stars craved. He chose the hard path, gritty roles, flawed characters. He'd rather move slow and steady than rise fast and fade away. Then, in 1997, destiny knocked. James Cameron was casting for Jack Dawson in Titanic, a film with a staggering $200 million budget, unheard of at the time. When Leonardo accepted the role, the pressure was immense. Critics and industry insiders questioned the decision. Could a 20-something heartthrob really carry the weight of the most ambitious film of the decade? Late at night on the Mexico set, Leonardo quietly wondered, "Am I enough to reach the heart of the world?" The answer came in thunderous applause. When Titanic was released, the world held its breath. The film shattered every box office record, earning more than $2 billion globally, and Leonardo became a global icon at just 23. He didn't just play Jack Dawson, he became him. And in doing so, he became the face of a generation's dreams. But success always comes at a cost. The spotlight followed his every move. The press questioned endlessly, was Leonardo just a fleeting heartthrob? Critics waited for him to stumble. Audiences demanded more, not just a star, but a serious actor. Leonardo didn't argue. He quietly began preparing the answer that would silence everyone. He had conquered Hollywood. But now came the bigger test. How would the lifestyle of a global icon shape the man he would become? From the gritty streets of East Los Angeles, Leonardo DiCaprio stepped into the world of cinema with a dream that refused to die. At just 19, he stunned Hollywood with his role as Arnie, the intellectually disabled teenager in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, 1993. His performance was so raw, so deeply human, it earned him his first Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor, a quiet but powerful signal this young man was destined for greatness. But the true turning point came in 1997, when Titanic swept the globe. As Jack Dawson, Leonardo became not only the romantic icon of a generation, but the face of one of the most successful films in history, grossing over $2 billion worldwide. At just 23, he entered the ranks of Hollywood legends, but never rested on the fame he'd found. In the years that followed, Leonardo sought out deeper, more demanding roles. The charming con artist in Catch Me If You Can, 2002. The eccentric billionaire Howard Hughes in The Aviator, 2004, which brought him his first Golden Globe. He cemented his standing with The Departed, 2006, and ignited imaginations across the world with Inception, 2010, which pulled in over $836 million at the global box office. And finally, with The Revenant, 2015, Leonardo took home the Academy Award for Best Actor, a long-awaited tribute to a man who had pursued the craft of acting with relentless dedication. Today, Leonardo DiCaprio has starred in films with a combined global box office of more than $2 billion. Won one Academy Award, 3 Golden Globes, 1 BAFTA, and dozens of top-tier nominations. But his greatest achievement can't be measured in numbers. It lies in how he's quietly reshaped his own image from the boyish heartthrob of Titanic to an artist who constantly dares to go further. With talent, grit, and a heart that never stops reaching forward. If Leonardo's success is reflected in Oscar gold, then his soul can be seen in the homes he's chosen to build around himself. On the rugged shores of Malibu, Leonardo found his first taste of real freedom. He purchased a modest oceanfront cottage in 1998 for $6 million. With weathered wooden siding and palm shadows dancing across the porch, it was a place of peace. When he sold it in 2021 for over $3 million, it wasn't just a real estate win, it was the closing of a vibrant, youthful chapter. High above Los Angeles, nestled in the tree-covered hills of Hollywood, Leonardo quietly built a private compound. No paparazzi gates, no flashy headlines. He owns multiple adjacent properties valued at over $40 million linked together into a tranquil, self-contained retreat. With stone paths and native gardens, he walks its quiet trails each morning, as if the chaos of the city below were a distant hum. Then there's a gift won not for himself, but for the woman who raised him. A $1 million Spanish revival villa in Los Feliz, purchased for his mother, Irmeline. With classic red tile roofing, arched windows, and sun-filled interiors, the home is surrounded by lavender and warmth, an unspoken thank you from a son to the woman who believed in him when the world didn't. And when he needs to escape the noise entirely, Leonardo retreats to Palm Springs. There, a $2 million mid-century modern estate stretches out like a glass oasis in the desert, with sweeping views of the Santa Rosa Mountains and an infinity pool that seems to disappear into the horizon. It's where he sometimes spends quiet afternoons reading beneath the deepening sunset. The most remarkable part: Leonardo never bought these homes to impress anyone. Each space he chooses is a silent declaration to live closer to nature, to honor privacy, and to remind himself that no matter how high he soars, he still needs a place to return. While many stars chase the sparkle of golden mansions, Leonardo DiCaprio walks a quieter path, just as he's always done in his work, sincere, grounded, and unmistakably his own. And as he throws himself into his next roles, Leonardo quietly builds another journey, this one made of steel, electricity, and vision. Unlike the flashy world of Hollywood supercars, Leonardo prefers the whisper-quiet presence of his Tesla Roadster, the first all-electric sports car from the company, worth nearly $200,000 at launch. It glides through the palm-lined streets of Beverly Hills just as he lives powerful, but never showy. He also owns a Tesla Model S, valued around $110,000, a sleek electric sedan he often uses for meetings tied to his environmental work. In a world where private jets and oversized SUVs are the norm, Leonardo arriving at the red carpet in an electric vehicle became a quiet, unmistakable statement. Real change begins with small choices. But if one purchase defines his environmental commitment, it's not a car. It's an island. Blackador Cay, off the coast of Belize. In 2005, Leonardo spent approximately $75 million to acquire the untouched island, not to build a private paradise, but to create the world's first fully restorative eco-resort. Here, villas float above turquoise waters designed to regenerate the local reef. Green rooftops absorb carbon. Every footstep is planned to minimize environmental impact. Once complete, Blackador Cay won't just be a vacation spot, it will be a message. Luxury and sustainability no longer have to live on opposite sides of the table. Amid ocean winds and white sails, Leonardo isn't just chasing fame, he's steering toward a future where people and nature move forward together. Because for him, travel isn't just about moving from place to place, it's about leaving a lighter footprint behind. Though known as a quiet environmental advocate, Leonardo has never truly lived a minimalist life. He loves fine experiences, but always enjoys them in quiet, thoughtful ways. An ordinary evening might mean a private dinner aboard a $100 million yacht off the coast of St. Dios Barts. A simple getaway could be renting an entire island in the Maldives for just a few close friends. Private flights, vintage watches worth hundreds of thousands, carefully curated art collections, he enjoys them all, but rarely flaunts them. To Leonardo, true luxury isn't about display. It's about rewarding the dreams he never stopped chasing. But perhaps the clearest reflection of Leonardo DiCaprio isn't found in his homes or collections. It's in the relationships that have touched his life. The women he has chosen to share time with like him carry an elusive glow beauty, talent, and an unshakable love of freedom. Quietly, and without a single attention-grabbing headline, Leonardo has remained a mystery in a world addicted to exposure. From the late 1990s to today, his relationships have formed a legend of their own supermodels like Gisele Bündchen, Bar Raffaelli, Toni Garn, and most recently, Camila Morrone. But it isn't the list that defines him. What sets Leonardo apart is something harder to name: a gaze shaped by experience, a quiet smile, and a life lived behind the curtain, inviting those curious enough to look past the spotlight. In a world that thrives on overexposed love stories, Leonardo has chosen near-total privacy. No red carpet cuddles, no public declarations. His relationships unfold in the shadows: private vacations, quiet parties, brief handholds on secluded beaches. And somehow, that silence has built a legend of its own, a man who is handsome, famous, wealthy, yet never claimed by headlines. That mystery has turned every connection, brief or lasting, into fuel for endless speculation. Some admire, some criticize, and slowly, the quiet curiosity grew into relentless scrutiny. Now, Leonardo finds himself in the crosshairs of a spotlight he never asked for. As the glow of fame becomes a net that tightens, can someone like Leonardo DiCaprio hold on to who he truly is in the storm of modern celebrity? Stay with us as we explore the darker side of fame Leonardo has had no choice but to face. When scandal threatens a reputation, how does Leonardo DiCaprio stay the course? For Leonardo, fame has always been a double-edged sword, at once a spotlight and a test of character. As photos of him with Gisele Bündchen and Bar Raffaelli filled magazine covers, Leonardo became a media obsession, not just for his talent, but for a private life that remained under constant scrutiny. The press dubbed him the 25 Club, a reference to his tendency to date younger models. But he never responded with outrage. No statements, no defenses, just steady silence and continued work, as if his unwavering focus was all the explanation the world ever needed. Yet Leonardo's greatest career challenge didn't come from his personal life. The 1MDB scandal 2016-2018. In 2016, amid a global investigation into the Malaysian 1MDB corruption scandal, Leonardo's name unexpectedly surfaced. The Wolf of Wall Street, a film he starred in and co-produced, was suspected of receiving funds traced back to misappropriated assets. Immediately, Leonardo cooperated fully with the FBI, returned all gifts connected to the case, and made a firm public statement. "I had no knowledge whatsoever of the alleged illegal source of the funding." His transparency and prompt response helped preserve his public trust and his professional integrity. Environmental criticism. As one of Hollywood's most visible climate activists, Leonardo has also faced criticism for his use of private jets. He didn't argue. He acted. He began investing in sustainable aviation, supporting clean energy technologies, and committed to reducing his carbon footprint on business travel. For Leonardo, mistakes weren't excuses to retreat. They became reasons to evolve. The Diddy Connection, 2024. When an old photograph resurfaced on social media linking Leonardo to Sean Diddy Combs, who was then under criminal investigation, speculation reignited. Leonardo responded swiftly. He clarified that he had not been in contact with Diddy for many years and had no involvement in any legal matters connected to him. No lawsuits, no dramatic press tours. Just one quiet, clear statement, then back to walking his path. Through every wave of controversy, Leonardo DiCaprio has never lost sight of what matters: his art and his principles. In 2023, he reunited with director Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, a film widely praised by critics and audiences alike. Leonardo once again proved that talent, consistency, and integrity are stronger than any passing noise. To date, Leonardo's philanthropic contributions through foundations he has founded or supported have surpassed $80 million, funding dozens of environmental and humanitarian efforts around the globe. From intense public scrutiny to global-scale challenges, Leonardo DiCaprio has stayed grounded, steadily reaching towards something greater. So the question now is, what legacy is he quietly building, and what will it mean for the world long after the cameras stop rolling? What does it mean to leave a mark that outlives a lifetime? As the spotlight slowly recedes, Leonardo DiCaprio has chosen to leave the world with more than just unforgettable roles. He's chosen to leave behind hope. Through the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, founded in 1998, he has supported more than 70 projects across 40 countries, protecting coral reefs in the Maldives, preserving the Amazon rainforest, and helping to save the endangered Bengal tiger. Documentaries like Before the Flood didn't just cast Leonardo as a global climate advocate, they moved millions to care about a planet on the edge. Though fame has followed him for decades, Leonardo has never forgotten where he came from. He quietly donated $1 million to earthquake relief in Haiti, another $1 million to Hurricane Harvey victims, and $35,000 to help build a library in his old East L.A. neighborhood, the same streets where his childhood dreams once struggled to survive. No red carpet, no speeches, just the bright smiles of children discovering the world through books. Now at 50, Leonardo shows no signs of slowing down. He's currently collaborating with acclaimed director Paul Thomas Anderson on a new film, one that promises to be a defining chapter in an already extraordinary career. Meanwhile, his long-dreamed project on Blackador Cay, the eco-resort off the coast of Belize, is nearing completion. A bold new model for sustainable luxury, one that nurtures both people and the planet. Named one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world in 2016, Leonardo DiCaprio is no longer just a movie star. He's become a symbol of how art, social responsibility, and compassion for the earth can coexist. Leonardo reminds us of a lesson both simple and profound. Success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about what you give back to help make tomorrow better than today. Have you ever chased a dream, even when the odds were against you? Share your story in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because there are many more inspiring journeys still waiting to be told.